Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear Neuro Guard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room and help with balance when I'm on the baseball field.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player at any age, at any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out NeuroGuard Plus.
NeuroGuard mouthpiece makes it easier to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe from concussions.
NeuroGuard. They control my breathing while I'm writing. It stops me getting concussions while I wreck. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
You know, I'm still doing stunts. You know, and the concussions I've got, and I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So NeuroGuard Plus, you know, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, NeuroGuard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Ash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, NeuroGuard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
All right, everybody, now's the time. Brown right, motion, tailback slant. Let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner, all right? On one, ready? Go, 13! Coming after you, Dave! Go, 13! Hey!
Finally, time to talk high school football for the 2025 season. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett, Grant Goodwin here. The NeuroGuard Plus 4A, 3A, 2A show called Sideline to Sideline here in the great state of Texas. And before we begin, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. A little tired. AC went out at the house yesterday, so had to take advantage of free rooms at the casino, so I had to get up extra early and drive in from the casino.
Oh, I thought y'all drove down and stayed at that Roach Hotel you stayed in that time where the roaches were prepping your bed for you. Where was that, down in Needville or?
Navasota.
Navasota. Yeah. I know somewhere. I can remember.
I think I'd rather sleep in the heat than there. Yeah, so it's a long night. The Goodwin household, that's for sure.
Oh, this is going to be a long day. We've just now started
back up there afterwards.
Yeah, you're going back up. Are you staying the whole weekend there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is already Saturday, so.
Oh, I didn't know if you might as well take advantage, right? So if this is the first time you've ever come across Sideline to Sideline, I am Terry Bennett. That is Grant Gooden, and we talk 4A, 3A, and 2A football here in the state of Texas. And what this is our Big Arse Preview Show, where we're going to cover every district in those three classes. We pick our district, we pick our playoff teams, we pick our region finalists, our semifinalists, and our state championships. We just have a lot of fun doing it. And these shows they're fun, but man, they're long. But I have learned that these are the shows that make us better in the regular season because.
Do they though?
Okay, as good as we can be. Right. That's still better. And speaking of, we got Coach X, and Coach X will actually come up here in a second. And as you can tell, it's a little bit of a different set this year.
We're in swanky now. You redid it. People can't see.
Yeah,
but the big monitors.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a game changer with me. I'm gonna have to use these glasses today, but in the regular season when we have all our run sheet and our notes up on the big monitor.
Yep, and we'll be
more of those.
We'll be putting some of those up at times like this. For these shows, we're going to do like we've been doing in the region show and the district show, where we just put up the regions with the district. So you can kind of walk along with us as we do that. But if you do not know Coach X, he is a real coach in the state of Texas. Finally, well, I mean, he keeps saying it. So I think
he's got a ring.
Yeah,
he's got 2 rings.
Whatever, dude. I got 4 rings I got from the gumball machine. I did play state champion on them. I think what he has done actually though is he is one of those that he has started a charter school, and he schedules invisible teams. What was that school a few years ago that was trying to play everybody across the nation? That's what he is now. But anyway, each and every week
on national
TV and getting absolutely destroyed. You knew it was going to be crazy when like the right guard had a orange helmet and the left guard had like a lavender helmet and the quarterback didn't have a helmet. But no, anyway, so Coach X, he's a real coach here in the state of Texas. He likes to ride in and have a little fun. And so we're going to go ahead and start the show off with his diatribe. I thought it was going to be for the season, but apparently, okay, again, basically the same studio. We're in the same exact spot. We just changed the banner around, and instead of having a table here, we just put some stuff up on the wall. We've started our wall of hats. We want to get back into the goal of getting hats every time we go to a game, or if you'd like to send us one, let us know. We have a Gilmer hat coming, by the way. I appreciate that. We'll talk about that in the 3A show. But anyway, and so I decided to get back-to-back banners. We do the same thing without drank the coverage. That way we're both, it's called branding. Well, SI Designs, who does wonderful jobs, when I asked him to send me another banner, I accidentally sent him the wrong file. So there's this, remember that old thing in highlights, these 2 pictures are the exact same, but there's one mistake. And of course, when I showed the picture to Coach X of the new studio, he immediately caught the mistake. So this is what Coach X has to say. Let me see how this works. I got to see how to do this. All right, here we go. Guys, the new studio looks so great. Hey, and the new banner is so cool. In case you couldn't tell, I'm being sarcastic. There is one very important name left off the banner. That name is of a certain man with a certain title with the letter for a name. Starts with a coach, ends with an X. And we all know that X is the coolest of all letters. Yes, it is. And you know it, Terrence. I'm not arguing with you. Without the X, you would have no way to look inside of people.
X-ray.
Yes. Okay. Without the X, you'd never be able to find buried treasure. Without the X, you'd only have factors. That's my favorite one. Des Bryant, what would his touchdown celebration have been back in the day with that? See, X, you helped Des Bryant create his touchdown celebration.
And you probably helped him with his financial situation.
And by the way, he wrote this for the other show, but we didn't have video, so that's why it says this line. So here we are on the toughest regions, toughest district show. Actually, it's the Big Arse Preview Show. And guess what? You have no X, so you have no Coach X. To quote the immortal Steve Martin as Lucky Day in the classic Mexican Western, no dough, no show. But of course, I would have to paraphrase it and replace it with the word dough with X. So you made your bed, Terror Bear, and you're going to have to lay in it and wash your sheets. Grant, you're still cool.
Oh, thanks,
now,
man.
I do want to put out the fact that when we were picking where the banner was going, Grant specifically said he wanted that banner. He did not want to be associated with Coach X in any way.
Thing of masking tape.
That's what I was actually going to do.
Yeah.
I might edit that out. That's what I was going to do for the first week. I'm going to have Coach X just X wrote there right there.
There you go.
Yeah, he felt, the guy felt bad. I'm like, no, we don't care, dude. I think it's funny. He ended up not charging me for it, so I don't care. Anyway. All right, so that is Coach X. Now that he's done, before we begin this, and you and I have been kind of talking about this in the toughest region, in the toughest district, and the Coaches Changing show, I think one of the things, whether it be 4A, 2A, or 3A, and I'm not saying there's not favorites. Carthage, of course, is a heavy favorite in 4A Division 2. I think Gunner is still a heavy favorite in their division. Munster coming back with everybody. Shiner coming back with everybody. A lot of people think we're going to see them in a rematch of the state championship in 2A. But my overall impression is this is one of the most spread out anybody could win from 4A Division 1 all the way to 2A Division 2, maybe since we've been doing these shows.
Yeah. And for the most part, each region has 1 or 2 heavy hitters.
Yes, but no, I don't even think Carthage is at that. They are so unbeatable that if they lose, people will be shocked this year.
I don't know. I kind of go back to week 1 when we were out in Carthage last year and seeing them against Kilgore, and we kind of had that thought, man, that here we go, unbeatable Carthage. Just go down and watch them. And then, they had some injuries, and Kilgore was just that good defensively, especially that night that it happened. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on Carthage until we get down week 1 in Kilgore and see that rematch. And then
let's go ahead
after our week 1 football trip, week 2 show, I'll have a little bit more of an opinion on Carthage. Right now, I'd be very shocked to see Carthage lose.
I don't know, man. I
but,
go back.
We'll just have to see.
And again, I think I'd said this either on the toughest region or maybe it was the toughest district show, that my opinion on that isn't because Carthage has taken a step back by any stretch. I just think teams in 4A Division II have taken a step forward. I think that they're getting closer to them. But we'll talk about 4A Division II when we get there. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to start doing it. We're going to be breaking down every district, every playoff team, our region picks, our semifinal picks, and our state championship picks right here on Neuro Guard Plus. State championship, or Big Arse, right here on Neuro Plus, Big Arse Preview Show. Hey, Coach, are you ready to elevate your locker room experience? Well, at H&H Locker Solutions, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality lockers at the lowest cost in the Southeast. As a coach-owned business based in Alabama, we understand the needs of the coaches and the players alike. Our mission is to improve your locker room and streamline your process, and we're coming to Texas. Did you know we offer a free locker program? That's right. We ship all across the USA, ensuring you get the best solutions tailored just for you and your program. Want to learn more? Drop a comment or give Coach Harris, a.k.a. Ty, a call at 256-458-4427, and let's take your locker room to the next level.
Lights are bright.
All right, we are back, and it's time to start picking some 3A Division II districts. Again, this segment being brought to you by Big Country Blitz. Check them out online. All you got to do is go to bigcountryblitz.com. They don't only just talk high school football, they also talk college football. And we're going to be doing a Big Country Blitz show that will cover both the high school and college football teams of the Big Country area. If you're in Big Country, if you're around Abilene, go get one of the free magazines. You and I were talking about in the 3A Division I show. I miss more regional magazines like that. Big Country has one. Of course, Jack Stollard in Longview in East Texas, they have a great preseason little special. I miss when the Dallas Morning News would have it would be literally 7 to 10 different sections alone just on the previews.
Yeah, Houston Chronicle used to do it a lot as well, especially in season.
Yep.
Kind of losing that print media presence, so kind of sucks.
And that's why we're here. So what we're going to be...
That's why Big Country Blitz does such a great job.
Oh, he does. Cody does a great job. And it's almost a one-man team there. And he keeps it up during the season, too. He puts up a lot of the stats. He does this kind of fun thing of if you were to play fantasy football with the Big Country teams, what their points are and stuff. So, yeah, please check them out, bigcountryblitz.com. They did a wonderful job advertising us in the magazine. Again, we're going to have a Big Country Blitz show that will play here on L4 and on the Big Country site as well. So please check them out and tell them that you heard about him from us. All right, so if this is the first time you ever listened to one of our shows, welcome. And what we're about to do here in this 3A Division II Big Arse Preview shows, we're going to break down every district from 1 to 16. Grant's going to start with the last place team, give you the two deeps. We're going to do film study. You remember when coaches, when they, the old quarterback club meeting, that's what they would do? They would
think I do that much research.
No. Do you think any coach does that now, though? Do you think they still show film at the quarterback club or the booster club meeting?
Some of them they do, yeah.
I can,
but there's not that many left.
No, there's not. Now most booster club meetings are, I don't even know if they meet every week like they used to. But anyway, we're going to start in District 1 and we're going to work our way down.
I guarantee you in the playoffs in small towns, absolutely, before, Wednesday night before the playoff game, they do go too deep and at the quarterback clubs, booster club meetings, and they do that.
I always found it
fun. Why small town football is better than 6A and 5A.
I mean, that's why, not being cliche, but when you and I got together, a lot of people don't remember because we had like 5 listeners. we talked 5A at the time. There was no 6A. We used to talk 5A, 4A, 3A, and I don't even think we did 2A back then, though. But you and I just were like, we love 3A football, so let's just do 3A and that. And then when they split, we added 4A and then 2A, and I never want to go higher than 4A on State Talk. It's nothing against 5. You and I love to go to
coverage.
Yes, they have enough coverage. You and I love to go to one round. We always like to go to a 6A or a 5A game just to like look at Duncanville and realize how big in person they are. But at the end of the day, I want to be talking 3A football.
Yeah.
And that's why we're going to talk 3A Division 2. And then Grant's going to start. Oh, by the way, Grant has announced that he is going to do a new show this year. The 1A 6-man in-depth Grant Goodwin show.
I'm out, guys. It's been to retire.
It's been 18 years of fun.
That's where I'm in backyard football. I got to check into it.
All right, let's start with District 1. Canadian's been the bell cow. They're probably still going to be the bell cow, but this Canadian team, this is one that has a lot of questions.
Due to graduation.
I think in the last 15 years, this is the team with the most questions for Canadian.
Absolutely, it is, and it starts in the trenches. You know, they don't have much coming back. I'll like maybe one starter on the offensive line, maybe one or two on the defensive line. There's just not a lot to work with as far as experience for the Wildcats. But one thing they do have is Sladen Dickinson coming back. Ran for over 1,600 yards last year. So that's a bright spot. And even though Canadian's going to be young and a lot of unproven starters, Canadian knows how to develop football players.
Oh, yeah. I'm not, they might take a step back this year as a program, but usually for them, in 2021, they took a step back and they went 9-4. Yeah, last year was supposed to be kind of a step back and they still went 10-4. I don't think they're there this year. But they're laying the table. And I had a coach once tell me the great programs, usually when you look at their returners, usually they're either returning all their skill or all their offensive line. And this is one of the few times.
I still think they could very well make a regional final.
Oh, I think so too in this region. Yeah. Partly because of this region, but partly because it's Canadian. And I do think they win this district, by the way. I do think, though, that they will be pushed by Childress this year.
Yeah, I think they could. Childress, they've got some holes too.
Oh yeah, they do. 100% they do.
So,
but they do return
12 with Canadian rebuilding more than what Childress has to rebuild, right? I mean, look, I like it. Canadian 1, Childress 2, Friona 3, and Tulia 4.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. You look at that Chieftain team, Friona, they're a team that, they returned 13, but they were 2-9. How do you,
right?
I think they returned the most in the district, but how do you trust that? Like and it's not even
5-team district too.
Yeah. But it's not even like, it's not even that they can't be better, but man, that's a big jump to go from 2-9 to try to be a district threat. I just don't think they can.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to District 2. Idalou, Littlefield, Roosevelt, Muleshoe, and Sladen. What say you?
I like that exact order, actually. You named it off. I like Idalou 1. I think they'll win the district. Sladen close to over Muleshoe. I think Muleshoe with Josai Singagala, who's just a X factor on that Mule offense. I think he might be able to push them into the second spot. But I don't know. I think Sladen 2, Muleshoe 3, and then Littlefield 4.
I think Roosevelt makes the playoffs. Yeah, this is a team that last year went 5-5 after they went 9-4 the year before, had made a little bit of a surprise run in the playoffs.
Who are they going to knock out? Muleshoe or Sladen?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll go Muleshoe.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I do think Idalou's above everybody.
Yeah, I do too.
I think from 2 to 4 is a battle. I don't know. That's a good question. I just like Lubbock. I think, they returned 15. Jaden Zaniga, their running back / linebacker, kind of all everything. Jason Jenkins. This is a program that last year kind of started slow. And then, but I also remember we had talked about they lost to Holly in week 2. It was only like 14-6. And I remember we said, hey, we need to check them out. And then they lose to Idalou and then Kahoma. That was the weird one last year that they lost to. And then after that, they rolled until they, of course, faced Wall. And, Wall was Wall last year. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong schedule. That's 23. Let me go back to 24. I hit the wrong one. Oh, no, that's what I meant to say. I just got it wrong. All right, I'll cut that. But anyway, yeah, just give me Idalou, give me Slayton, Muleshoe, and Lubbock Roosevelt. That's right.
Okay.
And leaving out Littlefield. I don't think Littlefield. You think Littlefield makes playoffs?
I did, but I mean that's.
I mean, they were 8-5 last year. Let's not pretend. I mean, but they're kind of
there. So
yeah.
Again, I could see that.
Again, I don't know where this district plays in the region, but it's going to be a fun district inside.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to District 3. And how do you see this one?
Man, I was looking for every way possible to put Crane at the top spot. But I think Odessa Compass is going to win this district. I think Crane defensively is going to be better than they were last year, but not good enough on both sides of the ball to beat Compass. I think it goes Compass, Crane, Alpine, and then Anthony.
Yeah, perfectly. And Compass is building something slowly there. They've had back-to-back 4-7 seasons, but they returned 17 starters, and they have got
they got the third spot in this district last year, right? They returned pretty much more than anybody in the district, and they were third last year, so it only stands to reason that the Cougars will probably win this district.
And I mean, they've got some legitimate college talent out there in Braxton Morris, their wide receiver, who will probably play corner in college. I think he plays corner there too. They have an underrated quarterback in Cason Smart. I'm not saying that they're going to win the region, but I think they have the chance to make a real run this year.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to District 4 and Wall.
Wall. Right. Landon York, quarterback. I mean, anytime Wall has a quarterback that throws for over 3,700 yards, you're going to be pretty salty.
Do you feel like, and if you know,
that Wall offense is going to be nasty this year?
Well, I mean,
defensively, that's the one question, though.
Which is, it's so weird to say that, but you got a feeling, if you ever remember the movie, oh crap, now I can't think of the name of it. Varsity Blues, whenever they spread out the guy in the booths counting the wide receivers, that's how Wall was after, because I mean, this was a team that was set in their running game, and then last year
isn't it a wing T?
Yeah,
years,
and we wondered how they would adjust, and I mean, they just like Holiday. It took them a couple games, and then boom, they took off.
Yeah.
You've got a big 6'3" York back. You've got a big wide receiver in Reed Robertson back. You've got another really good wide receiver in Evan Bowl back. I legitimately feel like last year was the start of things. I mean, this is a team that took Gunner to the map, folks.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you could make the case that they lost the game as much as Gunner won the game. That's not knocking Gunner, but you know what I mean about that.
Got out to a big lead, right?
I think Wall is just now starting. I think Wall has reasserted itself as not only a region threat, but a state threat.
We'll have to get out to Wall, America, and watch a game.
I had
Lewicki Steakhouse.
Yes, I thought that one closed. Are they still open?
Lewicki's open.
Oh, is it?
I think you're thinking.
Oh, the sisters'
daughter.
Yeah, the sisters' daughters. Yeah, that's the one that are closed down.
All right, so I've got Wall 1, Kahoma 2, Great Creek 3, and then Stanton 4.
I agree with that. And by the way, Cahoma's going to be really good. They returned 13 starters from last year's team. Boyd Cox, their quarterback. They have a really good defensive end who plays tight end as well as Landon Wells.
Yeah, Cahoma's been on the up. Last couple of years.
Yeah, they really have, and in a lot of other districts in this region, we would pick them to win. And they was in it for a moment with Canadian until Canadian started rolling offensively in their playoff game. But I think Wall is such a cut above everybody. Look, I'll say it now. I think Wall's a cut above everybody in this region. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Let's go over to Region 2. We'll start in District 5. We've got Brady, Clifton, Dublin, Early, Eastland, and Toller. What are your thoughts?
Man, I think I'm going to go against the grain here, and I'm going to take the Brady Bulldogs winning this district.
Wow, I like that.
Mainly because of their offensive line, man. DeMarcus Reed and Nasser Minifield are two big linemen that probably will anchor one of the best offensive lines in 3A Division II.
Now,
I think Brady's offensive line is good enough to put them 1, Toller number 2, then Clifton 3, and maybe Eastland 4th.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm still going with the Rattlers. I think that they kind of showed everybody.
It's hard to go to the Snake Farm and win.
Yeah,
right?
it is. They showed everybody when they moved up to 3A Division II, they lose their coach. Everybody was like, oh, that was a nice little run. They made it to state. They got their doors beat in. That was cute. They're now in the big boys. And after losing to Peaster 10-0, they went on a roll last year and didn't lose again till Holiday in the third round of the playoffs.
To replace. Wilson was not nice to the Rattlers.
They do, but I think the thing is they have their quarterback coming back. And I think what they lost last year going into last year was bigger, in my opinion.
With losing Peyton Brown.
Peyton Brown and that offensive line. And there's going to be growing pains. And I like your Brady pick. I think that's a really good. I don't think people are really looking at Brady this year, a team that went 8-3, as you said, returned 14 starters. I think that might be one of those games. If we can't find another game that week, that's probably a damn good playoff game.
I like that quarterback for Brady, Jacoby Stands. Get behind that offensive line. That's going to be they're going to be a tough out. All right, let's go to.
Tell me who else you got.
I'm sorry. I've got it Brady, Toller, Clifton, and Eastland.
Perfect. All right, let's go to District 6, and we've got some nice little matchups. Holiday, Jacksboro, Wichita City Views, Millsap, Henrietta. What do you say?
Man, I'll tell you this one thing is that between Holiday, Jacksboro, and City View, that is going to be one hell of a fight for the top spot because any three of those three can beat each other.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Even Friday. I'm going to go with Holiday right now. I think the two running backs in the Harrison and the Hamill kid coming back for Holiday is a lot in that offense. I think the defense will be still pretty good for Holiday. So I like Holiday 1, and then I'm going City View 2. Malachi Williams, that quarterback, dual threat quarterback, over almost 2,000 yards passing, 1,200 yards rushing last year. I think that's going to be tough. And City View is going to be very athletic. I think Holiday will be more physical, so that's why I think Holiday 1, City View 2. Then I got Jacksboro. Don't forget Wyatt Garrett, that quarterback coming back for Jacksboro, threw for over 3,600 yards basically, right, last year. So I got Jacksboro 3 and then Millsap 4.
I like Holiday 1. I'm with you on City View, and let's remember City View's also playing with heavy hearts and a lot of like this is going to be a special year after they lose their head coach Heath Aldrich, who died. Akeem Levinson steps in. They've got the most athletic guy in the district in Malachi Williams. I think City View is one of those teams, we talk about this all the time. They need that breakthrough win. They need to beat Holiday. They need to break through to finally you beat a Holiday. Then when you get to the Gunners of the world, you feel like you can do it. And a couple of years ago, the Frank Johnson's last year, the famous. It was like a game out of the movies where Holiday wins on a field goal in a rain-mudden field against City View where the ball hits like the crossbar twice and it bounces over. I mean, that's the kind of bad luck City View has had. If they can figure out how to get past that, the sky's the limit for them. But until they beat Holiday, I still have Holiday 1. I have Jacksboro 2. City View 2, Jacksboro 3, and Millsap 4. But, man, a lot of this region is in this district. I know Gunner and Bells, but man, those three teams are going to tell the story of this region as well. All right, let's go to District 7 and Bells, Blue Ridge, Gunter, Howell, Leonard, SNS, and Callisburg. And hey, Bells, Gunner, and Blue Ridge, those three teams are going to tell a lot about. There's two heavy set districts in this region, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So what do you think on 7?
So I like Gunner winning District 7. I think Jay Campiti he'll be able to make hay behind a young offensive line, but Campiti's got the size and the speed, just like every Gunner playmaker before him had. I think they'll find answers to losing a lot of that offensive line. They lost pretty much the whole offensive line, but I think Campiti's good enough As long as you can give him a little bit of room, he's going to be dangerous. I think the defense for Gunner is going to be just as quick as they were last year. Maybe not as experienced, but that Gunner defense is going to be tough. So I like Gunner 1. I like Blue Ridge 2. Man, Blue Ridge's offense, oh my gosh. Blue Ridge is going to put up a ton of points, and they might even be able to score quite a bit on Gunner's defense.
It's funny. I know we joke about it. I still remember, I was like, hey, man, I watched that Farmersville Blue Ridge game, and Blue Ridge has got some offense, and you kind of laugh like, yeah, and I'm like, no, seriously, I think Blue Ridge has a real offense this year, and it turned out they did. I mean, this is a team that came out of nowhere. They returned 15.
Gaddis.
I'm going to say it now. I think Blue Ridge wins the district.
Do you? I think they'll beat Gunner.
Dude, Gunner returned 7. They also,
yeah, but it's a Gunner program.
Okay, that's great. They have, and since the Gunner program, they've never had this amount of less returning starters. They also have a new coach, and I think Jordan Gill's going to do a fine job. I'm not saying he won't, but without going into it, this wasn't a normal coach retiring, coach leaving. This was a lot of crap happened, and it kind of shook the foundation of the program. I think it takes them a while to rediscover them.
I don't think they skip a beat. I think Gunner wins it, and then Blue Ridge second.
All right, I've got Blue Ridge, I've got Gunner, and then I've got Bells. And
I got Bells third, too.
And we wanted to look up one thing. We wanted to see if Leonard had that running back. Let me see.
Either way, I do have Leonard coming in fourth.
No, wait. Which big running back? The big running back that was really good, or the big running back that ran 3 really good plays, and then the rest of the game was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
That was that Jefferson game. That was one of the weirdest matchups in the world, was Jefferson and Leonard and Melissa.
Gosh. All right. So let's go on to District 8. Who you got?
Man. Do we have to?
I'm going to go Scurry Ross.
Yeah, Scurry Rosser. I mean, this is the district where you're going to win the district, but let's be fair, you're probably losing to the 4th place team in District 7.
Maybe so, yeah.
I'll go. Let me hang on. Let me get this.
I think their quarterback is the biggest question. Is it going to be Caleb Peavy kid?
He's the all athlete guy. Yeah.
I mean, I would think they would likely, Coach David would move him into quarterback, get the ball into the best player's hands, right?
Yeah. But I mean, in today's world, sometimes getting the ball in the best player's hands is putting him all over the field. They also have a QB in Eli Hutchins that they're high on. He's young. I think you'll probably see a little bit of a 2 quarterback system.
Curry's going to need that defense, though. They got an experienced defense until they figure out this quarterback situation. But I think they'll play good enough defense. I think Scurry wins the district, and then second would be Cedar Hill TLC. Fleming Grove third. And
Fleming Grove returns a ton of a team. Coming back from a team that last year kind of surprised and made the playoffs. They did get their doors beat off by Bells, but I agree with that. I think your seating is perfect on that. This is just an ugly district.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into Region 3 as we hit District 9.
Man, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Grand Saline.
Oh, yeah, you and I were talking about that. It's weird.
Best players in 3A are on the same team. Quarterback Jet Taylor and Colton Prox at receiver, right? And they return a ton on defense, quite a few offensive linemen. But again, the X factor is Jet Taylor, man. He threw for almost 1,900 yards. He ran for almost 1,600 yards. That's a dual threat quarterback, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in Class 3A. And then the Prox kid is a big-time playmaker. How can people not be talking about Grand Saline region-wise? I know everybody's probably picking Grand Saline to win the district, but I think they need to be a little bit more taken serious, a little bit more on the region side of things.
I agree 100%. Joe Drennan, the head coach, he won state with Mineola. Jet Taylor is just like Jeremiah Crawford, who was the quarterback for Mineola there. Mm-hmm. And I know every system likes to have a quarterback who can run and throw, but Coach Drennan's system is very much predicated on that. And as you talked about Colton Prox, if he can just find consistency on his route running, the sky's the limit. I agree with you. You and I talked about this all the way back when we just kind of first started in March talking about teams and stuff. I legitimately feel like they are a region threat. And I know I know Woodville beat the doors off of them in the playoffs last year, but Jesus Christ, look where Woodville ended up last year. Like, that doesn't look as bad 5 weeks later when Woodville's playing for a state championship.
Yeah. Well, I think they just got out physicaled by Woodville, right?
Well, and Grant Saline hasn't been a playoff team. That was a new experience for them.
Yeah.
People need to understand. I know we get in today's era of analytics and efficiency, we forget there's the confidence, the never been here before, the play like you've been here before part of it, especially when it comes to high school kids. And I think Grant Saline they've got to experience that, and they have now. They know what they need to do. I'll tell you another team I'm high on this district. I think people are sleeping on Harmony. I mean, this is a team that, last year had nobody returning. They kind of struggled early. They got into the playoffs, but they returned 15. And Harmony's not going to be down for long. I'm not saying they're winning a region, but I think they're the second place team in this district.
No, I think Edgewood's the second place.
I feel probably. I think it's Harmony.
Go lightly, probably outside of Jet Taylor, the best quarterback in the district.
No, I agree. No, I've always liked Edgewood.
500 yards passing.
Yep.
700 yards.
Kevin Racing. I mean, he's the Bachtel family. I mean, he's a great. No, I like Edgewood. I just think Harmony is a step above them this year. I think this district has three teams that, again, all depending on playoff matchups, could play for a while in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I like it Grant Saline, Edgewood, Lone Oak, and then Harmony.
All right. I have it Grant Saline, Harmony, Lone Oak, and Edgewood.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to District 10. Dangerfield, DeKalb, Hooks, U Springs, New Boston, Queen City, and Redwater. Man, we joke about it, but I never thought there'd be a time where DeKalb was talked about as much as it's been talked about the last couple of years, and I love it. I'm glad that they have.
Yeah, I almost thought I might say they got a chance to win this district.
I have them winning the district.
Yeah, I'm still taking Dangerfield, Rain Wallace, Ashton Williams coming back, right? But yeah, man, consistency's not the name of the game in Dangerfield. So if DeKalb can just come in with Caden Weary, a really good running back who ran for 1,600 yards last year, and they got a pretty good defense returning. Yeah, I could see that. Right now, I've got it Dangerfield, DeKalb, New Boston, then Hooks.
You like New Boston that much?
I do. I like Ashton Broden big time, man. He ran for almost 1,700 yards last year. Got pretty solid defense coming back. Their offensive line is very solid. I like New Boston to come in second or third.
They have quietly over the last few years started slow because of who they play in, non-district. They play a really tough non-district schedule. But the last 3 years, they've went 6-6, 5-6, and 6-6. I mean, for New Boston, that's one of the best 3-year runs since probably the 70s. I like that pick. I like them at third.
Like Hooks, they could very easily end up second or third. I mean, Rick and Birdwell at quarterback, we saw him a couple years ago fill in as a freshman, and then last year what he did, that dude's a player right there.
Dude, this is a front-loaded district.
Oh, it is.
I mean, this is a district that the four teams I think are going to make the playoffs pretty easy, but the battle between those four, there's going to be some knockdown, drag-out fights, and we might see some rematches in the playoffs.
Yeah, I really think at least 3 of the teams in this district could go 2 to 3D.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah,
all right, let's go
playoffs.
Let's go over to District 11, where this is one of those weird districts. You got Art,
but man,
Buffalo,
Troop Tigers.
Troop.
Love.
Yeah, you were huge on Troop this year.
Yeah.
And you had them as a dark horse. You have them winning the district?
I do, yeah. I think that running game with Brett Wells, man, I mean, they were so good last year. Wells ran for, 1,500 yards. He's a great linebacker as well. Troop returns a lot on both sides of the ball in the trenches, and I think this is Troop's district to lose. I think Art comes in second, and then maybe your third place team would probably be New Diana and then West Rusk, I guess.
I like West Rusk third, but I mean, you're splitting hairs. These teams, I think Troop is a step above, but not very far above everybody else. But I think ARP and Troop and ARP and New Diana and West Crust are all within each other. Like, however that plays out. And then I also think other than that, I don't know. We were not joking, but we were talking about Elkhart's. They're struggling. Winona's been struggling. Buffalo, back when they were in some easy areas, they were the kings of going 10-0 and then getting beat in the first or second round.
Right.
They do return 19 starters, but it's from a team that went 0-6. I do like the fact that ARP and Troop are good again at the same time. That is one of the most underrated rivalries in East Texas that kind of has gotten forgot about over the last 10 to 15 years because of one was up and the other one was down. It looks like finally they're both up. I think this is going to be a really fun district. I don't know where they play out in the region.
Troop walks away with it, though.
I do too. At the end of the day, that's what I said. I think Troop's a step above, and I think ARP, New Diana, and West Crust are all within the same.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to District 12 to finish out Region 3. I'm curious with Woodville. Last year they made
place, man.
They emptied out the senior class, the deepest that team had ever been, going into the state championship game, going 13-3. I remember everybody writing them off after Newton had beat them pretty bad in district, and then the score looks bad in that Gunner game. They lost 28-0, but that defense kept them in that game.
Yeah.
Like Gunner had to fight tooth and nail it wasn't like Gunner jumped out 28-0 and then coasted. They had to battle. It's just Woodville couldn't find consistency against that great Gunner defense.
Right.
Look,
that Gunner defense is just too quick.
And
they won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and
it's so crazy to watch them because Gunner is physical, but not in the way that you think. They're physical in how they shoot the gaps and how they get past you. They don't get into street fights. And that's the thing that Coach Billy Mathis from Brock said that's where Brock struggled in their two games with them is, Brock's used to teams that want to get in a street fight in the defensive line. Gunner's like, look, I'm just trying to get around you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to prove that I can go through you. If I can shoot the gap and you're not quick enough, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Right.
And Woodville struggled with that. Now, in saying that, I think people
like those old Miami Hurricane defenses.
Yes, exactly, and that's why the option offense went dead. Is because if you can shoot the gap and force the pitch man to make his pitch 3 yards deep, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Right.
I think though for this district this year, I think Newton is about to reassess themselves in this district, and not only the district, but
Andre Porter, a running back. Oh my gosh!
I think this
300 yards rushing last year, coming back.
I think this is the best Newton team since the 12-2 team at 2022.
And this might be a really, really special Newton defense.
Yes,
very
exactly.
Quick, very good size up front. It's going to be hard to run on the edges against them. You're going to trying to get anything up the middle is going to be tough. Yeah, I think this Newton defense is going to be something special this year.
I know this sounds weird to say, but I think what Newton has got to figure out is they have this weird issue now in the playoffs where they just get the crap beat out of them. Dangerfield beat them back-to-back years, beat the crap out of them. Harmony beat them 3 years ago. 4 years ago, we literally, we saw Newton no moss in the second half.
Yeah.
They've got it. I think it's weird to say this, but I mean, you got to realize, folks, we're talking 2 generations from their state championship team. These guys haven't won state. I mean, it's been since 2018. We're talking 7 years. They've got to relearn how to win in those big playoffs.
Okay.
I think if they do.
And it all begins with physicality.
Yes.
Right?
And they've got to, they punch everybody in the mouth in their district and they get away with it. And then the last 2 years they get in the playoffs and they get punched and they don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
They've got to figure out how to respond. I think they do this year. I really do.
So I got it. Newton 1, Woodville 2. 3, I got Anderson
Shiro.
4th, New Waverly.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. All right, let's go to Region 4 to finish out the district picks, and District 13 is going to be great. I know Blanco, we've talked about Coach Walker moving in. We know about Lexington. I still think the wrench in the plans could be what Rogers turns out to be.
It could, but let me tell you right now, Kirk Mull and the Lexington Eagles are about tired of the last 2 years when they've had so much promise and didn't get there. I think Case Evans and Noah Wright Harris are going to put their stamp on 3A Division II, especially in this region. Lexington is going to be scary this year. I like Lexington all day long in this. Number 2, I would take Blanco with Trey Atchley at running back coming back, and Levi Goya. Is it Goya?
I think it is. We had this discussion last year.
I think they're going to be second, but I think the drop off between Lexington and everybody else in this district is big, because I think Lexington is going to be special this year. So I got it. Lexington, Blanco.
Wait, what now? You think Lexington's
going to be special this year?
You think they're that far ahead of Blanco?
Yep, I do.
Okay, you and I have a disagreement. I have Blanco winning the district.
Do you? I think Blanco will come within 2 touchdowns of Lexington.
13 returning starters from a team that last year beat Lexington. I don't think they fear Lexington. I think, I mean,
you guys here is going to be different.
No, I think Lexington's going to be great. In fact, to spoil it, I think these 2 teams meet in the playoffs again. Look, what Jamie Dixon did at Blanco was great. And this is in no way. I think I would still pick them if Jamie Dixon was there. I think Blanco, I mean, they return everybody.
Yeah.
I just think, and we talked about this when it happened, and we talked about it with Walker coming down there and that whole vibe of what he does. He takes an offense and makes it the community.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, I know you're not. No, I know you're not knocking them.
But I just think Lexington has a chip on their shoulder this year that they not gotten to where they had before.
That's a good point. That's a really.
I really think that, man, they're gonna make some hay this year.
Like I said, I legitimately feel like we will see this matchup again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with anything you said about Lexington, but then when I look at Blanco, who beat Lexington by 10 last year,
right,
they still have 13 returning starters. It's not like they're reloading. In fact, they probably feel like they're,
maybe
the favorite. Yeah. This is going to be a fun district because, again, I go back to, you and I both agree, those are the 2 top teams.
Yeah.
And I do think those 2 teams are a step above everybody else.
Yeah, Rogers and then Thrall, you think?
Yeah,
maybe? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think Rogers, they're young. And I think maybe next year might be when and again, we don't know what realignment's going to do, but I think next year might be where we see them really start to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see this Roger team start slow and probably get the doors beat off of them by Lexington and Blanco, but then hit the playoffs and just boom. Next thing you know, they're in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
This is going to be a district we're going to talk a lot about during
I would love to see Lexington Blanco.
I think we need to go. I think we have to go to that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go to District 14, and this is going to be a fun one. What say you, Mr. Goodwin?
Well, Tidehaven, to me, with Kel Russell coming back at quarterback, Boogie Galvin at receiver. They got the offensive line returning, the bulk of the defense. I think this Tidehaven's year, a lot like Lexington, right? We got so many teams in this region with chips on the shoulder that something's going to have to give.
You know, Tidehaven 2 years ago, they go against Gunner, they lose. Right. Everybody was like, oh, that is really sweet. Y'all finally made it. Y'all broke through. Now go back to your region and have fun. And they were supposed to take a huge step back last year. And David Lucio has proven, and this is another thing, I can't think of the running back, Joseph something, that the stud against Gunner. But they proved last year it wasn't just him. It's the system. And they played Woodville to a 28-21 game. If I remember correctly, Tidehaven had the ball with a chance to win. I think they had a fumble. But Tidehaven's here. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I guarantee you, if you talk to Tidehaven, as great as Blanco and Lexington are and all that, they feel that they're the favorite of the region. And I don't know if they're wrong.
I don't think they're wrong either.
But then you've got inside this district a team like Van Vleck that everybody has kind of slept on.
Or East Bernard.
I mean, Van Vleck returned 17 returning starters, 9 of them on defense from a team last year that they went 6-7. But if you pull back the stuff, they lose to Tidehaven twice, 1 by 7. They lose to East Bernard. They lose to Woodlands Christian, which is a very good private school down in Houston. Van Vleck's probably looking and saying, hey, why can't we win the district? Dude, 14-3 is
Van Vleck's coming in 4th, too.
I was about to say, Van Vleck. I mean, this district is stacked this year.
So I've got it. Tidehaven 1, East Bernard 2, Roscoe 3, and then Van Vleck 4.
Yep, I 100% agree with that. And again, you look at East Bernard. This is a team that was 1 point away from winning the district last year. They lost to Tidehaven in that thriller, 29-28. How is it when we did an East Bernard show for 1 year, It's the 1 year. It's just like
They were
Hereford.
getting beat by a touchdown or less every week.
But they were 2-8. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And then Hereford, the 1 year we did them, they go 0-10. First time in school history. The next year, they make the playoffs. Don't do a coach's show with us unless you've already won state. That's the rule. All right, let's move over to District 15. It's both. It's both. It's both.
Luna coming back, right? At quarterback, Kane Stover at running back. That's, Luna and Stover might be the best quarterback running back duo in the state.
This is one of those teams that, when we were talking about it, I had a coach once say that great programs, they either return all their skill and have to rebuild their line, or they return their line and have to rebuild their skills. This is a team that has to rebuild their line, but the skilled players will make the line look really good. Yeah. Now, my concern for them, not as a system, is they also have to return a ton defensively. Yes. And in this region,
that might be the
region 4. Holy crap.
It's loaded, man.
I can't remember now our region rankings. That's how quick this stuff goes out our head. But my goodness, when you look at just each district outside of 16, and 16 is not bad, but 13, 14, and 15 all have at least one region team. Now, in District 15, I do think it's just Poth and then everybody else.
So I've got Poth 1, I've got Cotulla 2, Dilly 3, and then Stockdale 4.
I thought Dilly was going to be a little bit surprised, but I like Dilly. I always think of Coach X.
Rondo Silva at Dilly.
Yep.
He went to Royce City, was a couple years above me.
Oh, so Dilly's going to crash. No,
he's got that Royce City greatness in it.
Like Rodney Webb, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's go to District 16. What say you?
District 16 is all about George West.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's George West and everybody else. Maybe Odom, then Santa Rosa, and then Heavernville, I guess.
West's issue right now, and by the way, you know who their new coach is? Former Navarro Rod Blunt.
Oh my gosh, it sure is. How did I miss that?
I don't know. We talked about it on the coaches show that we do every year where we talk about coaches change.
Again, how did I miss that?
Because that stuff goes out of our head so quick. I don't know. I think the best thing, and this is not a knock on Coach Blunt because he's great. I think the best thing about Blunt moving is his son, Cohen Blunt, moves over. And that power offense, he's a fullback. He's going to get like 1,800 yards.
Blunt, not Colin.
No, it's Cohen. Kohen.
Oh, I thought you were calling him a colon.
No. Okay, you're weird. I think for West, and this is why they brought in Rod Blunt, their whole thing is there's one of those teams that they are really solid in a really tough region where they always get in the second round, the Lexingtons and those type of teams.
Look.
And they brought him in to finally break through. And maybe one day he will. They're going to win the district, but I still think in the second round they're going to end up getting beat by a Lexington or a Blanco. But in this district, I think it's George West and everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, 3A Division II region finalist, semifinalist, and state champions right here on the Class 3A Division II Big Arse Preview Show. Hey, Coach, are you ready to elevate your locker room experience? Well, at H&H Locker Solutions, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality lockers at the lowest cost in the Southeast. As a coach-owned business based in Alabama, we understand the needs of the coaches and the players alike. Our mission is to improve your locker room and streamline your process, and we're coming to Texas. Did you know we offer a free locker program? That's right. We ship all across the USA, ensuring you get the best solutions tailored just for you and your program. Want to learn more? Drop a comment or give Coach Harris, a.k.a. Ty, a call at 256-458-4427, and let's take your locker room to the next level. All right, Terry Grant Goodwin back here, sideline to sideline, the Class 3A Division II Big Arse Preview Show. We've picked the districts. We've told you who've made the playoffs. Now we're going to tell you who wins the playoffs. We're going to start out in Region 1. Now, the way we do this, I know I explain in every one, we're not saying that these two teams necessarily will play in the region championship. We don't get that in deep to where we follow the playoff tree. We're saying these are the two best teams, and one of these teams will advance. I kind of feel like we're going to have two teams we know very well in this region. I'm going Canadian and Wall as the two best. I have Wall winning the region.
I've got Wall over Canadian for the Region 1 final as well.
I think legitimately this is a Wall team that rightfully should feel like they can win state this year.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they will, but I'm just saying I feel like they rightfully feel that. All right, in Region 2, who do you have as your region finals?
I've got Gunner over Holiday.
Okay. You know, you have Gunner beating. I'm sorry, I thought you said Gunner and you have Gunner beating Holiday.
Right,
right. I have Holiday and Blue Ridge. I have Holiday winning. I think Holiday finally breaks.
I'm big on Blue Ridge, and I didn't think about that, but yeah, I can see.
Blue Ridge, and again, and this is not a knock. I mean, you can't knock a Gunner program. I do think Gunner legitimately takes a step back in this year.
They need about 5 step back to not.
I don't know.
In a semifinal.
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. I think.
I mean, they were head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah. No, again, no,
it would take a mighty fall for them. I think they will show up in the semifinals. I think it'll be Wall and Gunner in the semis. Whether or not they go to the state final, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second. All right, Region 3.
I've got Newton over Troop.
Well, I love the fact you're so high on Troop because I actually had that 100% the same.
Did you really?
I wanted to go Dangerfield.
If we're going to call me an idiot, we're taking Troop over Dangerfield, but I like the way Troop plays defense and they run the football.
Okay, I'm going to say this. This is not, I'm not saying this as a knock because it's a positive or a negative. Dangerfield is unpredictable. And I mean that on the field and when you're making predictions.
Right.
They swerve left when you think they're going right. And when they go, just like last year, we buried them after how they started.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, they make a run. And then they get the doors beat off of them. I mean, Dangerfield, you just have to almost take them out of the equation and then see where they end up.
I think if somebody punches them in the mouth, that's the problem.
They have not responded well.
Right.
But in saying that, if this is the year that they respond well, I will continue to say Dangerfield could win state and win every game by 3 touchdowns, and it wouldn't be close. They just haven't proven that they can do that. I like the Troop. I like that pick. I think that is a really, really good pick.
You got Newton over Troop.
I have Newton over Troop
3
as well.
Okay.
I don't think. I mean, again, we're making predictions now in August for a game in December. I think Newton wins comfortably in this region.
Yeah.
I think Newton is back almost to being Newton of the 3 state championships.
I think you could be right.
All right, now here's where I think you and I are going to disagree. Region 4, I have Blanco winning the region.
I've got Tidehaven over Lexington for the region.
I have Blanco beating Tidehaven, and I think this. Look, again, I don't remember where we put them in the region, so if we didn't put them in number 1, okay. But this region is tough. This region from round 2 on is going to have region favorites playing each other, and this is going to be. I have a funny feeling. Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to probably be in the San Antonio or somewhere area like that, watching some of these playoff games, or maybe even further south, depending on the matchup.
Keurig, right?
Huh?
Is Keurig?
Yes. Oh, we can't tell you anything yet.
Oh, shit.
We got a special announcement about Thanksgiving. We get to do it in October. Yeah,
nobody told me I wasn't supposed to say anything.
You're never supposed to say anything, but you just keep talking. It's
kind of my job.
I keep forgetting to lock the door when I do these preview shows. Look over, and there you are with a beer, like son of a bitch. But yeah, I think there's going to be some classic football games in round 2, 3, 4 of the playoffs in Region 4. I just think I legitimately feel that the Walker moving into Blanco with a team that was already loaded, I just think that tips it. But dude, Lexington or Tidehaven winning it wouldn't shock. It wouldn't shock me if Van Vleet finally breaks through. It wouldn't shock me if Vanderbilt Industrial finally figures it out because that team is very, very talented. Yeah. This is going to be a fun region. All right. So, who do you have winning in Region 1, Region 2 matchup of Wall versus Gunner for you?
Left side of the bracket, semifinals, I've got Wall over Gunner.
I have Wall over Holiday.
Go to the state champion.
I have Wall going to the state championship too.
All right. So, Region 3, Region 4, the right-hand side of the bracket. In the semifinals, I got Tidehaven over Lexington. I think it's going to be Tidehaven.
Yeah.
Playing Wall for the state championship.
I mean, you mean you have Tidehaven over Newton?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tidehaven over Newton.
I like that pick. I have Blanco over Newton. I have it Wall versus Blanco.
Okay, and I've got it Tidehaven versus Wall in the state finals, and I got Tidehaven winning the state championship over Wall.
I would love to see Tidehaven win it. I have Wall winning the state championship.
Oh, okay.
I also think there would be a fun matchup of Wall versus Newton, which 5 years ago would have been a 45-minute game as they would run the ball all day. And now we got Wall. Folks, it's fun to watch Wall. Go watch last year. They throw the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
Craig Slaughter, again, remember, he used to be at Glenrose. I think he is finally, sometimes when programs change systems, it doesn't work. With Wall, it obviously worked.
Yeah.
And this is nothing against, I can't think of his name, who was the coach there. Great coach. He built a wonderful Wall program. I can't think of his last name. Houston.
Yeah.
Wonderful coach, built a wonderful program, but we had seen it a couple times. That defense was always having to go against, and their offense was just kind of, it struggled. And Craig Slaughter has opened that. I think Wall wins a state championship.
I think Tidehaven beats Wall for a state championship, but I like the way we got there.
Either way, man, this is one of those years. And nothing against Gunner. If Gunner win it, we'll tip our hat. But I feel like we finally are going to have a change of the guard in 3A division.
I think so too.
All right.
Coach Surratt came in 2007, and really what's remarkable about him is how quickly he turned the program around.
The biggest challenge here was just to change the mindset. Obviously, we want a winning culture, but the first thing you got to instill is, toughness. It don't matter if it's volleyball, football, baseball.
He's put Carthage on the map to a great extent.
Terry Bennett back here on the Big Arse Preview Shows. I wanted to take this last segment to, first of all, thank everybody for allowing us to talk for 18 years of high school football. We've had a blast doing it, and we can't wait to hit year 20 here in a couple of years. We've got a couple things planned that we want to do. But also, I want to take the time to ask if you'd consider joining our Patreon. And what we're going to be doing on our Patreon for the high school side this year is going to be real fun. First, we're going to have our sideline to sideline state rankings. They will start in week 3 of the season this year. They'll only go up on Patreon at first. We're also going to do instant reactions. So when we get back to the hotel from a game on a Friday night, Saturday night, or Thursday night, depending on which week it is, because like the first week we'll be at 2 games, one on Thursday and one on Friday. But we'll give us an instant recap about how we feel about the game we saw, and maybe some of the other scores we've seen that surprise us. Those will go up on Patreon only. We'll also have a Patreon question of the week, and we have a Discord chat. That's a pretty fun chat in and out of the season, actually, as we like to talk a little football, a little sports, and whatever else comes across. So please think about joining our Patreon. It's for less than a cup of coffee. In fact, if you did the full high school season, August to December, it's going to cost less than it would to go get a fast food meal. So please consider helping us out, give you great extra content, and let's have a fun 2025 season. And until next week, which will be the regular season shows, I'm Terry Bennett. This has been Sideline to Sideline's Big Arse Preview Show right here on L4 Media.